Today, we are mastering the art of homemade pizza with Chef Randy's help. So here's what you'll need to follow along. Double O pizza flour, all-purpose flour, dry yeast, maple syrup, extra virgin olive oil, kosher salt, water. Okay, Randy, so obviously we're starting with the dough, right?
Tracy, you gotta make your dough at home. Today's world's a little bit crazy with takeout. Nothing makes me angrier than ordering a pizza and waiting an hour and a half to get it. It comes in cold. Why do that to yourself? Today I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect dough, super easy, and you'll get in front of it and you'll have it in the fridge with multiple balls so you can use it for different things. So we're gonna do a yeast-driven dough today. So I've got 7 grams of yeast with 50 milliliters of water and a tablespoon of maple syrup. Why the maple syrup? Well, yeast loves sugar. You know what loves even more than sugar? Maple syrup. You can see that it blows up. So I'm up to 150 mils now just because the gases, so the yeast is ready to go. So before we add that to our flour, I've got 200 grams of all-purpose and 200 grams of double O. Trace, do you know what double O flour is?
I have no idea, and before the show, I had to ask Randy why my script said OO flour. So you're the one that told me if I want to be a pro, say double O.
You nailed it. It is double O. So it's a finer flour with a bit more minerals and proteins, and it is going to make the pizza lighter and fluffier and just a bit of a better bite. It's not going to be that crispy, crunchy kind of harsh kind of thing. If you can't find it, it's still fine to just use a little bit of bread flour, or you can use all-purpose as well. So I've made a well, and I've added my yeast into the middle, and then what I'm going to do as well is just a little splash of extra virgin olive oil. And that's just going to lubricate the flour a little bit too. Get your fingers in there and just kind of move it around. Don't be afraid of it. And this is going to come together fairly quickly. Now you can see that I've got too much flour and not enough wet stuff, so we're just going to keep adding water. I've got like 250 mils here, and try to keep it in that well. This is kind of fun. You can get the kids involved in this too, but if it does bust out, that's okay. Just reel it back in. And you're just kind of working it down. This is going to make 3 pizza balls. And with those pizza balls, Trace, I can make sandwiches out of that. I can make donuts out of that. I can make just about anything from it. But I've got them resting in the fridge. They'll keep, you can make the pizza that day, like you can make it rest a few hours, or you can actually keep it in the fridge for 24 hours optimum, which is the best case scenario. Or if you go up to let's say 4 days is kind of your maximum, then the yeast starts dying on you. So as you see, it's just a work. You just kind of keep pushing it together. And once you get to this stage, this is called the rough stage, you're just going to let that sit for a few minutes and let the flour absorb all the water. And then you're going to come back and make it into a dough. But you can see it's kind of getting there. And that's what we're after.
It's totally getting there.
So what we're going to do now is we let that sit for 10 minutes, and then we make it into a dough ball, and we let that double. Once it doubles, we come back, and we portion it into 3 balls. And that is where we are right here. Put it in a container that's airtight and put that in the fridge for 24 hours. So I made this yesterday, 24 hours ago, and this is a perfect dough ball. Oh my, that is what I'm after. You always want it to be a round ball, Trace, because if you start with a round ball, you'll probably finish with a round pizza. So here comes the lesson on how to stretch out a round pizza. Are you ready?
I'm ready, because I find that this is the hardest part, and no matter how many times you do it, it often is not a circle. It's like a little amoeba-shaped organism. So let's see the pro do it.
And those taste fantastic too, but what you want to do is you kind of imagine your rim on your pizza. So you want to get your 3 fingers down here and just go right down the middle of the pie, right? And so now it's a little bit of an egg shape, and then just come out the edges like this. And you can see this dough is soft. Another tip is I pulled this out of the fridge for an hour before I wanted to use it. You can see my rim. And now we take these fingers, and we're just going to go like this. It's the jazz hands, right? And we're just going to mildly stretch it and turn it. And within, what was that, like 22 seconds, we have a perfectly round 10.5-inch pizza ready to be topped.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so now you're going to do the toss? You're going to do the toss situation? This makes me jealous.
You want the toss. I mean, it's a little soft to be tossing, but you can see if I peel it up, you don't want it too thin. So I think this one isn't tossable. This dough's too soft. But the good news on a soft dough, it means it's going to be getting crisp and then moist in the middle. It's going to bake for like 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how hot your oven is. So I'm going to start a little bit of tomato sauce, like 3 ounces of tomato sauce. The important thing is, especially with like flat, kind of thin pizzas, don't overload your toppings. And I think that's where a lot of people might get a little bit confused, is because the pineapple leaks the water in there, and it's kind of like, oh, what's going on? Where you really want to watch your moisture. So you notice I just kind of did like little heaps of mozzarella everywhere. And then with the pineapple, you really got to get some salt into the pizza. So pepperoni, nice little bit of salt, dry cured. Oh, what do we have here? You know, this is a perfect marriage. The pineapple doesn't go anywhere without the double smoked bacon, the ham. This got twice the smoke on it. And like I said, we're putting a lot of toppings on here, so we just want to go nice and even. Now, Trace, I think right about now you're enjoying what's going on, correct?
I'm enjoying this immensely. You might be like bringing me over to your side, because I'm very hungry right now, and watching this is making me want to dive in.
Well, and then look at what I did with the pineapple is just sliced it paper thin. So we're going to get that sweetness, we're going to get that little bit of juiciness, but it's really not going to get the pizza too wet, and that's really what we're defending here. And we're just going to slide it around in there, not too much, a little bit, because there's too many ingredients. So we're going to finish it off with some green olives, okay? This is a weird combination. I'm not going to lie to you. I understand that. We had this customer that used to come to the pizza joint all the time, and he would order this, and all the pizza cooks knew him, and they're like, what is wrong with this guy, right? So he tried forever to get it on the menu. So it's true. But then, I'm going to wait until it comes out of the oven to pass judgment. And he called it the Murph dog, and everyone's like, ah, Murph dog's back. Make that stupid pizza again. Check it out. Here we go. Into the oven, onto a pizza stone. And look at this. I've got one coming out. Whoa. That was 8 minutes. 450. You know what I mean? Look at that, Trace. I mean, that looks pretty good. I'm going to top this off with a little bit of basil. Just sprinkle it around, right? And now this is where you might be happy about this. We've got some smoking hot chili oil. And because you know how I am, I'm just going to give it a little drizzle like this. So now you got this saltiness, this smokiness from the bacon, and then you've got the heat, and then you've got the sweet. Are you ready? Oh my stars. I don't think I was only going to cut one piece because I don't want to share this, but I might cut one for my camera person as well.